Welcome, everybody, as we discuss Season 2, Episode 1 of Online Survival. But I am with the Online Survival Season 1 Final 3. We have Dazed, who was third place, Fan Guy, who was second place, Aspen, who was first place. Even though Fan Guy might have some disputes about that, but we'll save that for another time. How are y'all doing?
Good, man.
Yeah, awesome.
Great.
Awesome.
Good to hear. So at first, I'm just gonna want your first impressions of everybody from watching the first episode. I think I'll start with Team Rona since they started the episode, and we'll go ahead and start with Carrie with a K, Fan Guy. Do you have any first impressions of her?
I like Carrie with a K. I think she, in her little intro video where she's like, I'm smart, but I'm ditzy. But I'm I was dying because I was like, this girl is genuine. I think she means every word of this and is like, kind of like she's smart, but she's ditzy. And it just came off perfectly. I love her personality. I'm not sure how she's going to do in the game, but personality-wise, yeah, she's a killer casting call on that one.
Aspen, what about you?
I don't know. I just, the two carries, it threw me off from the jump. I'm like, all right, this is going to be confusing. I'm already like, all right, who is who? And so, yeah, I think I don't want to make no judgment calls yet. I want to let it kind of see how it plays out because I don't know how to feel about Carrie. Yeah.
She seems very proud that she's dating her ex-husband too. She seems to mention
Which I'm
that.
like,
She seems very proud of this.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty interesting too.
She's right. That you could make a show about that.
Yes, I should offer her a show if I had the money.
Yeah.
Dazed, what are your first impressions of Carrie?
Like Fan Guy said, she's very smart, and I think she can use that to her advantage. But honestly, though, she does seem like she's intelligent. She's very well spoken, big personality. With each of these teams, I kind of put an X by who I think had the personality, intelligence to go a long way, and I think she's going to be one of those.
We might as well do the other Carrie first. Carrie with a C. She wasn't on this episode a lot, but Aspen, do you have any first impressions of her?
Come back to me. Let me go.
Okay, Fan Guy, what about you?
All right, so Carrie with the C, in a lot of ways for me was super forgettable, but one thing that really stuck out to me that cracked me up about her was when she was like introducing herself. It was almost seemed like she was reading it off of a script. Like whenever, like you could tell she had perfected that. Like she was ready. She had her lines memorized, and she was gonna tell you exactly who she was. And I love that about her. Like that tells me that even though she's really quiet and stuff, she's taking it seriously, and her brain is in the game. She's super shy though.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So she was the one who had the emojis popping up. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, okay, I see you. Yeah. She's super quiet. Like I said, she kind of forgettable. That's why I'm like, let me go see who this is.
Yeah, she wasn't in the episode that much because she didn't play the challenge. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. She quiet though, so like I'm just waiting to see her come out of her shell.
Daze, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote down that she's going to get lost in the background. I don't think we're going to have to worry about deciphering between two carries all that long. One thing that did strike me is that she said she's a Mafia player, and I've played many Mafia games, and you got to be pretty ruthless. So maybe that's something that I can look forward to, but she's not going anywhere. I did get a kick out of her name suggestion for the group, though. I think it was Sunshine People.
It was Sunshine.
Like, what?
Yeah, honestly, the picking of the names, I like when Q was like, yeah, let's go with Rona, fucking disease that's killed a million people. You know, I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, the name picking was interesting for sure.
I will say about Carrie, I find it interesting that you all think she's quiet. I think she might surprise you with that one, but we might find out in the next episode.
Quiet but analytical. I can see her being very. There's something going on there for sure.
When
Yeah.
she spouted those rehearsed lines, no, that girl's brain's in it to win it. You mark my words on that. She's in it to win it.
We'll go with Patty next, Dazed, or Patrick.
Who? Patty?
Patrick, yes.
Mixed feelings. Something about him just screams sneaky and snake, and I think no matter what he does, that's going to make him a target. Just because he doesn't say a lot and he's hiding behind everything.
Right. Is it because he's bundled up and he
He's
he lives in
freezing, man.
Hawaii,
It was
but he's
cold
actually
outside.
in Alaska.
Couldn't
He was
get
in the
warm.
rain, he says.
But he's in trouble already with, well, not showing up for the challenge. But there's something about him just screams sneaky, and he would be on my radar right away as somebody like, you got to go, man. I can't have you in this game.
Aspen, what were your first impressions of Patty?
Yeah, I mean, at first I'm thinking like, all right, this dude got the hand tat, he gangster, you know, like I didn't know what to think. I'm like, he might be dangerous, and then you know, like he's all like bundled up, and I don't know. I feel like he was chatty a lot. He was talking, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, he talked too much," which I'm like, "Oh yeah, he kind of is talking a lot. Like let everybody else talk, you know." But yeah, I don't know how he gonna turn out. Mr. Hawaii is what I call him. So.
Was that where he's from? I got like Alaska.
He's from Wisconsin, but he lives in Hawaii.
Okay, I got like every state in the United States
he
in there
just throwing
somewhere,
out
so I
stuff.
wasn't for sure.
Now.
Van Guy, any first impressions of Patty?
Patty actually reminds me, this is like of some of my friends who are just kind of like, they're hippie sort of land lovers, and they actually kind of like have a lot of the same demeanors as him, same sort of ink and stuff. It's pretty wild. Like he does fit, in my opinion, a definite personality type, like a personality profile. He does. He falls into like that thing. I like Patty. I like people like that. I definitely do agree with Days that he does give off that kind of scummy vibe, because those type of people kind of do. They just kind of have that. They do. They like, and I like those are my people, but a lot of them do. They give off that scummy sort of like id gaff, like I don't give up, like sort of vibe, and I think that can rub a lot of people the wrong way. And missing the first challenge in these things that's suicide.
I want to clarify with y'all. When I first saw him, I immediately thought that I'd seen him on Survivor. He hasn't actually been on Survivor, has he?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But he just
No, but
He reminded me of
guy on
somebody.
the cast that I know I recognized from something on TV or something.
Really interesting.
Alex has been on TV.
Yeah, that dude, I've seen him. I've seen him.
the one who came in last.
Yeah.
We'll get to
Yeah,
him in a while.
he was making.
We'll get to him.
Okay.
Sticking with Team Raw for now, we'll go with Q next. Aspen, what were your first impressions?
Oh, so when I seen Q, I was like, oh yeah. I automatically, I don't know why, but she kind of reminds me of me. You know, it's weird, but like, I don't know. I just was very impressed at how she came into the game, and I liked her shirt, her Black Scientist shirt. That was a dope shirt. So I'm Team Q right now, you know, like just off of first impressions, just yeah, I don't know why. She just kind of remind me of like a little me. So mini me. She like my mini me. I don't know.
Hayes, what about you?
Very intelligent. She's another one of those analytical people. Can see her playing a lot of strategy. I do think the ego is big there. She said she's going to be loyal and she's not that social, but from the previews that you put out before this, she seems pretty vocal in her opinion. So I don't know if that whole not being social is going to come off the way she thinks. But I did like one of the lines that she said about the whole Rona thing. And Southerners, and this is where I was talking about the editing. Southerners don't believe in science.
Southerners and they science.
We got a born and bred Southerner on this cast who doesn't have a problem with being from the South. So I'm calling it now. There is going to be some beef between those two.
Yeah.
Fan guy first impressions of Q.
I mean, are we talking like as including the challenge, right? I thought Q is easily a front runner from this episode. She was one of the best 3 or 4 in the challenge for sure. She seemed pretty on point. Seems really she seems very likable. She made that funny joke about the Rona being the virus that kills 1 million people, but I guess we'll name our team that anyway. Whatever, it might end up that way. So I thought she was pretty likable throughout the entire episode, and she seems like a strong player who's pretty much in it to win it. So I think she's one of the stronger players on that team for sure.
I forgot to add in there, since Fan Guy mentioned the competition, super competitive.
Oh yeah.
Talk about somebody who was like one got one of those right, and she was out of her seat clapping. So she's gonna bring it every time in a competition.
Well, lastly on Team Rona, spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1, the winner of Online Isolation Season 1, DD Dazed. What are your thoughts on DD in this game? Dazed.
Oh, me. I love DD. I loved her in Isolation. She was one of my dark horse picks to win this season. Plus, she's got some pretty dope dance skills. But she made a mistake right off the bat, and I'm sure y'all have got to be thinking that too. I wrote down, "Don't tell anybody that you played ISO."
Why? Why would you?
First thing she did, man.
Why?
Like, don't do that. But
let alone tell
what?
them that you did good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
great.
it, though.
Yeah, great.
Did it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love her though. I'm rooting for her. I think there's a target on her right away, but I want to see her go as far as she can in this game.
Aspen, thoughts on DD?
Yeah, so automatically I like DD. I like her style. I thought her and Q was gonna do great together. Obviously, I'm like, okay, you know what? This is about to be a power team. I can see them going really far together if they stay together and work together. I don't know how that's gonna work out. DD, she seemed like she pretty much in it to win it. I mean, like, she is here to play the game, and I like it. Like, I feel like she gonna be a front runner for sure. So she's somebody to watch out for.
Fanga.
I agree with all of that except for the front runner part, only because I think her and to some degree Q, based on the preview of next week's episode that we saw of the end of this one, might be in a little bit of trouble. I don't know why that would be yet, but I am basing that on the preview we saw for the next episode. But yeah, DD, I mean, I loved her in Isolation for sure. And I think she's going to bring that same sort of energy and vibe to this game. Huge mistake saying I did great in that game and I played another game like this. Like, it's not like everyone had that same, it wasn't like a all sort of return thing. She's the only one. Don't let people know that you are a veteran of these types of games. It is
right,
going to
because
be.
there's no way they could have known, right? If she wouldn't have disclosed that information.
No.
So, yeah.
And now she has a huge target, and by proxy, Q might have a big target if Q tries to work too closely with her, just for that exact same sort of reason.
Well, I mean, Q and Carrie kind of poked at her when she said that, so those two are the ones trying to put the target on her right away.
Like that.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how she switches up from a strictly social game to a competition game, and we're finally going to get to see how that works out between the two different.
Was actually my next question. What do you think she needs to do different in this game, Dazed?
Not say that she played in Isolation.
True.
Now that they know that she's played in another game, she's kind of on the spot early on to win competitions and not be at risk of being eliminated. So that's what she has to do in the first couple weeks or first couple days is win comps, keep herself safe.
All right, we will move on to Team Dunn next. We will go ahead and start with Elizabeth Van Guy. Any thoughts on Elizabeth?
Oh, my favorite player is on this team, but it is not Elizabeth. Elizabeth seems awesome, man. She seems like it's kind of one of those like outdoorsy, kind of happy, uppity sort of people. Also fits that profile of that kind of person. So I think it's just she's awesome, man. She seems cool. She seems happy, upbeat. All the stuff she claims she is, I think that energy actually comes through with her, and it's not just sort of something she's saying. I think her head's in it to win it. She's game. She's clearly through some of her confessionals, you could tell she's, her strategic mind is in the game, and she's looking for other people who want to play the game hard. So I like Elizabeth, and I think she has a legit shot to progress with the team she's on for sure. She's one of the top few.
Dazed.
She's smart. Okay, she's a professor. Just something about her I do not like. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what to say about her. I do think she's going to get in some arguments. I feel like the ego is big with her too, and that maybe she feels she's a little bit better than everybody else. And the comment she made about Dot, how she thinks he's going to try to get people to go his way. If you try to push her around, she's not going to take it, and she's going to fight back really quick. So I think there's a fire under there somewhere, and it's going to come out really quick, I think.
Yeah, so I kind of agree with both of y'all. I like Elizabeth, like Dots. I mean, like Dave said, she's a professor. So like I'm like, oh, I'm automatically thinking she's smart. She's gonna be on another level. But then like I don't know, she just kind of like quirky, like that's the only word I could use to describe her. It's just like, I don't know, she's like what I would call like eclectic, so like she is like very out there, but like she want to play the game though, like I think she might be a little savage, a little bit more savage than she letting off. Like she
makes some passive aggressive insults.
Oh yeah.
You could catch a few of those. I go outside. I don't watch movies. I like to go outside.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm like, well, let me go outside more, I guess. I'm sitting here watching a movie right now, like. So yeah, she is interesting. I kind of feel what Daze is saying too, though. Like I don't know, like she giving me.
I can't put my finger on it. There's just something about her, and I want to point out to anybody that ends up watching these. Especially me, I can be pretty harsh with some of my comments. So I hope that those players don't take it to heart.
That's Dave's code for if we play a season together in the future, don't take this podcast out on me.
No, I think that in isolation, I think a player like Leo got, bashed a little bit, and we're not saying these things to hurt people's feelings. It's just our honest perceptions of you as a player.
Yeah, I want to second that, because anything I say, it's just, I'm sorry, because one of them's coming up I might be kind of mean about, and I'm sorry. It was funny, and you're funny, and you're a wonderful person, and you all are.
And also, if we play a game together, don't hold it against me. Just putting that out there.
That's true. Yeah. Let it go.
Just let it go. Don't make anyone a target the first week.
Right.
Next up, we'll talk about Ori Dazed.
Ori. I didn't write anything down for her, but I did put a star by her name. It's another one that I just couldn't put my finger on. There's something about her that I do like. She seems intelligent. She's kind of sitting in the background. I think she's ready to play the game. I think it's going to take a couple more episodes for me to really feel her out before I solidify an opinion on her.
Aspen?
Yeah, so automatically I remember she said she just moved to North Carolina. She was married, so that caught my attention because I used to live in North Carolina. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina, so I'm all about that mountain life. But she said she don't live in the mountains, which I thought it was funny. She said it was hot there, which I'm like, girl, you don't know hot. But yeah, I think that she said she was in the Army Reserves too. So I'm like, oh, she got a real, like, I don't know, military people have a military brain. And I know that might not make sense, but I know that she said her husband was in the military. So they both are like smart and strategic people. So I'm sad she missed the challenge. I wanted to see how she was gonna perform, but I'm watching out for her. I like a lot of things about her. She is kind of one of the front runners on this team for me to see how she does. And yeah, I'm interested. I'm in there.
Banger.
I thought she was on the forgettable train, honestly, and I think it's because she's surrounded by some pretty big personalities on that team. Um, and so I think that she hasn't really stepped out into any sort of vocal role. She seems like kind of one of the people that might just kind of get along to go along, and I could see her kind of maybe playing her entire game that way. Whether that's for 1 or 2 weeks or the whole way. I just think she's going to kind of blend into the shadows. I don't think she's going to step out and actually make any moves. She doesn't strike me as that kind of bold player, but I
That's
think that
interesting.
she can fly under the radar. She strikes me as one of those players who's smart enough where she's in the game, her head's in the game, but she might just kind of fly under the radar for a while. And
Okay.
I mean,
you know,
there's at least 3 people on that team already that you could get rid of. So she's sitting pretty on that team at least.
Up next, we'll go with Dot Fan Guy.
Dot, I loved his energy this entire episode, right down to his little 98, 99, 100 on the push-ups. Like, I just like Dot.
I'm on the
He seems,
push-ups.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I didn't even see you there. Hey, like, I just like people like that. The fact he's from Austin, I used to live in Austin. Like, he is Austin to a T. He embraces the weird culture of that city and he embodies it. He's clearly the most vocal leader on that team. And he also has a power because he was selected to get talked to from the other team. I don't know if we're getting into that because we haven't talked about that team yet, but Dot, in my opinion, is in an extremely powerful position right now because he's got players on other teams trying to work with him, and he's, the leader of his team. And even though Jake thinks that the leaders are always targeted first, I don't necessarily think that is always the case. And I think Dot made a very bold move going for someone over someone who wasn't even there. I think that is super bold. I think it's ballsy. I love it because it's the kind of ruthless shit that I'm about. So, like, I get it from a strategic point. This person's an anchor. This person's non-existent. I'll take the non-existent person over the anchor. So I think that he's 100% in it to win it. I was not expecting that sort of ruthlessness from him whenever you watch his intro and he just seems like this fun-loving guy and he's like, I'm going to, like, let's just get rid of this chick. So Dot's in it to win it, man. I love Dot. Dot's one of my favorites on the cast for sure.
Based.
Yeah, I second all of that. Funny, personable. I will say that I don't think he actually did 100 push-ups, but I do think that he's a move maker, and we'll get to him later. But Alex has already caught on to that, and he's not afraid to make moves and talk strategy and try to convince people to, keep somebody who's non-existent. We might have a Mike 2.0 here. But I love him. I want to see him go far. I want to see him, build those relationships with other people on other teams.
Aspen.
Yeah, so all of that times 100 automatically off top. I thought he was funny. I'm like, this is a comedic guy. This is somebody. He said he was I liked how he described Austin because I never been to Texas, so I don't know nothing about Texas except my boyfriend guy from there.
You would love Austin. You would freaking love it.
It seemed like it. It seemed like it. He's like, it's weird. And I'm like, you know what? That's me. I kind of like it. So I liked how he described Austin. He said he had family in Atlanta. He reminded me of somebody that I would just like kick it with back when I'm back home in Atlanta. So I like that. I feel like me and him would get along. Like Thing I said, that intro was everything. I'm all about the hilarious antics. I'm all for it. So that was some good comedic relief. Yeah, he just kind of laid it out there. He's like, basically, I don't know, I felt like such like disrespect. Like I felt like we were playing cards and like he smacked the cards in my face or something when he's like, yeah, we gonna do this. And I'm like, oh, okay. I see where you I thought he was gonna be chill and like I thought he was gonna be the funny guy, but like, nah, he is emerging as a leader, and yeah, I'm
He
going.
put on his acting face too when those votes were read. Like he put on his acting face because like when you announced who was actually getting voted off, he's like nods like he wasn't the one who voted for someone else. He's just like, yeah, of course, that's who we expected to go. You know, like that's of course that's who I voted for. Who voted for Nisha? Who voted for Nisha? Wasn't me.
So I'm all for Team Dot right now. Like I like them.
Well, next we might as well talk about Nisha next. Aspen, we'll start with you.
Oh my God. I literally had to stop and rewind that part so many times when she said disco.
Oh my God.
Nick's like, no, that's not it. I'm like, oh my God. Man, that was literally that was the moment I want to make a meme out of it. It just was so funny. Like, what happened there? I mean, can somebody explain to me
I
what?
wish I knew. I think we're all still confused about it. Well, she kind of explained that she didn't know what Buffy the Vampire Slayer was, but why she said disco, I have no idea.
Like that's kind of like biting a vampire. She could have. I don't know. How don't you know what that is? Do you live under a rock? She says she watches TV. That's like every 90s, 2000s. I mean, like, oh man, that done it for me. I was like, yeah, you know what, Doc? She is. You know what? It's time to boot her out. Like, I'm like, she's tripping. Yeah.
Bad guy, is this your favorite player?
This is absolutely my favorite player. You already know this is my favorite player, Nick. This girl is a ball of sunshine. First of all, let's just call it what it is. Like for all the comedic sort of, fun poking we might do at you if you're watching Nisha, you are a ball of sunshine and you emanate good energy. You really do. That being said, yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, he disco, and then she just straight face, almost like she's trying to psych Nick out, like almost like Nick forgot the clue he gave. Like
Except
she's
it was
trying
90.
Yep, and then they're like, and Nick's like, no, and Dot's like everybody's looking at Nick, and they're like, no, Nick's clearly saying no, and she's just still just like, yep. And there goes half your time to just do something like this. Or I couldn't tell what sort of, I don't know if y'all seen the Hot Tub Time Machine 2, but there's like a dance in that movie where they're like, it looks like he's grabbing a tree of dicks. And he's like doing this. And they're doing this. And I couldn't tell what she was doing at first to do Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It just looked like she was doing that dance. And so I'm just dying. Poor, and yeah, look, when you're the person who people are talking about getting out over somebody who's actually not there, you have probably been a detriment to your team on some level. At least that's how they perceive you. So she's a fantastic girl. I'm sure she's a spectacular person, lovely energy, but I think she's going to be a very early target on Team Done, and it'll be done for Nisha in the near future, which is sad because she's
pretty hilarious. Days, what about you on Nisha?
Nisha. I'm funny. I'm outgoing. I'm a cool person. I agree. You are all of that. And I'm saying it right here today. She's got you all fooled. It's yeah. She's playing all of y'all. It's a ploy. It's a ploy. It is a ploy. She's playing all of y'all. She's putting on an act. I don't believe her for 1 second. I'm totally wrong here, but I'm hoping that's the case and this is all a game move.
It would be a hell of a ploy.
I was about to say she done pulled the towel over my eyes. She got me. She need an Oscar, Emmy, whatever you get. She needs it, you know. Like, yeah, check. She got me for real. Like,
But honestly, she's gonna get lost in the game. I mean,
yeah,
if this isn't put on for show, she's like Fan Guy said, she's kind of a detriment to her team, and I don't think she's gonna last. I hope that's not the case. I hope it's all acting.
We've lost Fan Guy, but we will move on to Alex, who joined the team late days.
Oh, we're not even going to talk about Carly and Christopher?
No.
Okay. Alex, my pick to win. He is my Aspen 2.0. Calling it right now. Music creator, Survivor fan. Only thing different is he wants to cause trouble, whereas Aspen kind of sat back and just played it cool. I see a lot of similarities between the two of you, just laid back folks, can talk to anybody. And yeah, when he first came in, I was like, oh shit, he's getting the late start like I did in our season, which can kind of put you at a disadvantage. It hasn't phased him one bit. I don't think anybody noticed that he came in late. And I want to see what kind of trouble he can cause. I'm looking forward to it.
Aspen, thoughts on Alex?
Yeah, that is interesting. So Alex is my 2.0, huh? Okay. We'll see. We'll see. I like Alex though. You know what I'm saying? Like automatically, as soon as he said he was a Survivor fan, I honestly, I know we're gonna get to it, but for the record, it hurt my heart because I felt that when Meg was like, she's like, anybody watch Survivor? Everybody's like, no. I'm like, oh my God. Y'all have never seen Survivor. I had to stop. I had to pause and take a break. You know what I'm saying? So like,
I want to point out, Jake never said that he hasn't seen Survivor.
Right, he
I
did.
went back and double checked.
Oh, okay. I remember him being like, no, I watch it. And she's like, I must have misheard. So, okay. So Jake, okay. But I was happy. He came in, he's like a real actor. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
look, you got shows and stuff, dropping your names. I like it. I respect it. I'm going to have to go look him up, look his music up for sure. I'm going to check him out. I like
Let me
him.
get that last name so I can pull up his IMDb.
I know, right? I'm gonna have to go find this dude. So like, I'm excited to see how he plays the game. I thought it was gonna be super detrimental that he came in at like the last minute. I thought they were gonna hold it against him because honestly, I probably would have been like, like all salty. And honestly, on our season we did. Fan Guy, do you remember Ari coming in at the last second and we like, nah, like. So I probably would have. I know. It's sad, but I probably would have. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Alex. It seemed like he is in it. So I hope he is my 2.0.
Well, next up we will talk about the cleaners. We'll get back to Alex if Fan Guy gets back and get his take. Let's start with Rayleigh days. Thoughts on Rayleigh?
First off, the cleaners are loaded. Big personalities. They got the all-star team right here. Riley, is it Rayleigh?
It's Rayleigh.
So, what'd she say? She's law enforcement and military background. She said something about that offering her some type of strategy. Big picture versus the details. I'm not sure where she was going with all that. I don't think she's going to go far. I do think she's going to get into a lot of arguments, and this is the one I was talking about who's going to get into an argument with Q because there's nothing wrong with being Southern. But the whole sarcastic badass, let's see if she comes up against another sarcastic badass and see him go toe-to-toe. I'm ready to see that matchup.
Bad guy, are you there? Gonna take that as a no. Aspen, what are your thoughts on Rayleigh?
Yeah, so my Georgia girl. So I grew up in Georgia, and as soon as she started talking, I'm like, oh my God, listen to that accent. Where is she from? I knew it. I knew it. As soon as she said the first words out her mouth. And yeah, she I yeah, she is going to cause some chaos. She might not be my favoriteest, like I don't want to put nobody on no kind of list or nothing yet, but like I can see that it is gonna be a problem because she does represent a good old Southern girl. She's a Georgia peach, if you know what I mean. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly lost for words, dude. Like
Just
she a lot.
embrace the chaos
She
that's
a lot.
fixing to happen with her.
Yeah, she a lot, and I already see it happening,
Yep.
and it's like, I need to relax. I need to smoke on this one. Like I feel like she gonna like have my blood pressure boiling. So we'll see.
Any thoughts on the quiet Sammy, Aspen?
Oh, shit.
Sammy. So this is the Haitian, the one from Haiti, right?
Yeah, she didn't. She's quiet. She didn't show up to the first challenge.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we all kind of thinking the same thing. Like she ain't gonna be here to play. She not gonna really. She gonna get lost in the sauce, as the boys would say. She just kind of is like, who is she? Like she ain't talk much. It's too many big personalities on there for her to be quiet like that. Like you gotta stand out, or you gonna get rolled
Eating
over.
up.
Yeah, pretty much. So
She's gonna get her lunch ate.
Any other thoughts on Sammy Days?
I literally wrote nothing down for her and no star X by her name. That she's well, I guess we've already had a boot. She'll be second boot. Really have nothing more to say on her.
What about Hassan Days?
I like him. Great smile, very nice personality, laid back. He didn't get a lot of airtime on the first episode, but I see him moving to the front in the next couple episodes. Not a lot to go off of so far, but I do like him. I did write a star by his name. I'd like to see him go far.
What about you, Aspen?
okay, so yeah, Hassan. I thought it was interesting that he said he was a personal trainer. I'm like, boy, your gun's out here looking like mine. I'm like, where? So that was kind of funny to me. Hassan, he seemed like a cool person, like he from Philly. He gave me that nice East Coast vibe. He remind me of like some people I know back home. So Hassan, he seemed cool. I want to see, how he performs. So yeah, I'm interested in Hassan. I don't know. But he didn't really, stand out. So we'll see how he does.
And guy, before we get your opinion on some of the cleaners, I want to circle back to your opinion of Alex, who joined done late.
I swear I know that guy from somewhere. I don't know where. I know I've seen him on TV or something.
In the background.
Yo, so do you think he's my 2.0? Days is calling him my 2.0. What do you think about that?
You're 2.0. Aspen 2.0. I think the fact he saw through what Dot was kind of trying to do and didn't go with it. I'm not sure if that was a good play for him or not. That remains to be seen. Kind of how that power struggle plays out. It could be good or bad for him to have gone along or not gone along with that plan. But he's a capable player right off top. He just seems like his head's in it. He clearly watches some reality shows. He's naming favorite players from the challenge and stuff like that. So this guy's, he knows he knows the game he's playing. He knows what he signed up for, and he's in it to win it. So I like him a lot. and I definitely recognize him from somewhere. Like in my mind, in my third eye, I've seen this cat somewhere.
What about your thoughts on Rayleigh or Hassan?
Hassan was super forgettable, honestly. I mean, I remember a few of his clips. Like I can picture him. I know what he looks like in my brain, but yeah, he just didn't. He kind of is probably one of those get along to go along. Rayleigh, on the other hand, very strong personality there. Law enforcement stuff, like pretty like intimidating lady. Might actually intimidate some folks, and like that could work against her because she just has such a strong personality like that. I could see that biting her in her butt. But I like her, man. She seems likable and like cool. Yeah, for sure.
We'll go with Meg next. Aspen, what are your thoughts on Meg?
Meg was a challenge beast. I mean, like, I gotta like bow down to her for that. I mean, she performs stuff when people are like, she like, Tatiana. I'm like, golly. She came to play. Like, I don't know if I thought it was interesting. All right, let me back up. I'm getting carried away. I like Meg because she just like was like, wow, like I didn't expect her to beast that challenge like that. But I thought it was interesting that she started off by saying her job, like lets her be emotionally detached from things. So I'm like, how is that gonna correlate to this game? Like what's her social game gonna be like? She seemed cool, she seemed chill. Like I said, honestly, she probably could beast every challenge by herself. Don't let her get to the merge. I know that because she knows a lot about Survivor. Her favorite player is Boston Rob. Come on. I got a problem with that because obviously my favorite player is Sandra. But I mean,
Bench warmer.
But she got two wins though, so don't forget that. All right, don't forget that. But I thought it was interesting that she knew a lot about the game. She like watches Survivor. She called everybody out. I like that. I like she said that. Because that's me. I'm like, who else watching the game? Like me and Fan got like, oh yeah, we watch all that. So that was interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got from Meg is I'm looking out for her for the challenges. I mean, I don't know if she just is good at charades. Maybe it's because she got kids and like maybe kids be doing charade shit. I don't know. But like, yeah.
Hayes, what are your thoughts on Meg?
This Meg is my crush of the season. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. I really do like Meg. She's Survivor fangirl, super into strategy. She's taking control already. I am worried though because she does seem pretty sociable and able to talk to everybody, but I know for me personally, huh?
I said she's a social worker.
Is she? I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
But I know for me personally, like I can be a pretty sociable person, but when I start letting strategy take over and that's all I can talk about, it starts to become a downfall in my game. And I can see that I can see her doing that. But I love Meg already. I like that she's a fan of Survivor. I want her to go far. The whole speak first, think later, though, that she even admits is a problem of hers is going to get her in trouble.
Okay.
Meg is definitely the player that I closest relate to on this season, right down to the weakness that she admitted, because I have the exact same weakness of popping off before you really just think about the ramifications of popping off. So I really like Meg. I love what Dave said about how, especially in games with these formats where you don't have a lot of time to interact with people on a personal level, it becomes a very fine line of discussing strategy versus just actually getting to know the people you're trying to work with. And in such a limited time frame, this can be tough. So I definitely could see Meg falling into that pitfall of too much game too quick. I think it's an easy pitfall because Meg is so in it to win it. The fact that she was asking people if they watched Survivor and stuff. Meg is just a gamer. Her head is in this game 100% to win it. She is a passionate fan of reality TV, and it shows, and these kind of competitions. So she is going to be, from a strategic standpoint, one of the front runners for sure in terms of strategic sort of movements and plays to try to best position herself. So I think Meg's in an incredible position, not to mention she's great at competitions, apparently.
Well, last up is Jake. Days, thoughts on Jake?
I love Jake. I can see him being a great actor in the future. I mean, the kid is beautiful. There's no way around that. Super calm voice. But hey, you gotta find the folks that you want to crush on in these games. So, but calm voice, very laid back, but he can express himself very well, and he's really good at charades, apparently. But again, he's one of those I wrote down or put a check mark by to go far. But I also did draw some lines between him and Meg. And also between him and Hassan. I think he's going to be the double dipper. I think he's going to be playing a whole bunch of folks, get an alliance over here, an alliance over here, and nobody's going to know about it. He's another one kind of like Alex that I think can go far, but he's not going to be as chaotic as Alex is.
And guy, thoughts on Jake?
Okay, so Jake is a classic example of don't judge a book by its cover, honestly. Because my very first impression of Jake from his introduction, I was like, this dude is going to be a dumb jock. No offense, that's what he gave off right off top. That turned out not to be true, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. But that's just, that's just the vibe he gave off. It just was for me. And so he turned out, look, this guy watches reality shows. He's got more going on up there than it may appear he does by the way he kind of is just so laid back and kind of just, a lot of people like that might be underestimated to some degree just because they take that sort of demeanor. So I like this kid. I think he's in it to win it. I think he's in a good spot. He sent the message with Dot with alongside Meg. So I think he's in a good spot. He's clearly a competitor. And let's be real, if he says he was a Division I college athlete. I don't care if you were playing checkers. Like, if you're a Division I college athlete, there's a certain competitive nature that you just possess inside your soul, no matter what the event is. So this guy's a competitor. He's in it to win it. I like Jake. It took him a while to get the pizza. It took him a little while to get the pizza.
We'll get to that, guys.
Yeah, but I like it.
What's been thoughts on Jake?
Yeah, so Jake, the Florida boy. So yeah, Jake seemed cool. He seemed cool. I thought it was so fucking funny that he said that he is retired. He's like, yeah, I'm a D1 football player, I'm retired. I'm like, what? How long did you have to play to retire? Like, oh, I didn't know that was happening, but I thought that was funny. So I like Jake. Him and Meg killed the challenge. Like, I'm literally like starstruck. Like, I'm like, look at y'all. Like, do y'all know each other? They work so well together. So I think I like how he sent the message to Dot too. I like that threesome. I don't know why, but like that might not be the right word to use, but like I like that. I like their little trio. I could see them working together. So I'm interested in that being an alliance. Jake might be a little snake though. I could see Jake snaking in through that grass,
Russell was one of his favorite players, so.
And
did he say that? I didn't catch that.
That was
He
a
said
red
Boston
flag.
Robin Russell.
Wow, if Russell's your favorite player, that does
he
say something about
he brought up Russell, yeah. So I'm
He
like,
told that to Meg.
yeah, and she know Russell. She done seen Russell play, so
yeah.
like,
I mean,
okay.
I heard him say, "I'm not afraid to switch sides." Like he straight up said that.
So
He's
I'm
like,
calling him Jake
I'll
the Snake.
do what
Matter
I
of
got
fact,
to do.
that's my name for him.
Jake the
Jake
Snake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
like-
watch out! Calling people snake gets you in trouble in these chats.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, Snakeabith, if you're watching this.
We asked her to join us in the future if she wanted to, so we'll see if she does. Well, any other thoughts on the challenge? We talked about it a lot, but any other thoughts that came to you while watching the challenge?
Oh man, that great first challenge. I love
Yeah.
charades. It's
Yeah.
always so fun to be a part of. I would have been like, yo, let me play this. I don't care if I win. I just want to play some charades.
Yeah.
It was entertaining as hell. I mean, really, it was entertaining. I enjoyed that watch the act of like just legit. I enjoyed watching that challenge as much as I enjoy watching the challenges on like Big Brother and stuff, like, or maybe even more.
Yeah.
Honestly, because they're a little more personable, some of these challenges. But I mean, that's just real talk. Honestly, it was entertaining. It was entertaining as
It
hell.
helped that it was very back and forth between Rona and Cleaners. It was down to the wire.
And you had some great players in there. You know, clearly Dee and Q stood out. Meg stood out, and Jake, Dot for his team.
Hey,
Sort of
let's
stood out.
don't leave out Elizabeth with the chainsaw noises.
True. She did go. She went all out for that one.
Right? I'm like, okay, girl, get it. Yeah, I like oh my God. So when I knew it was gonna be a good challenge was when I seen not Dot, but Dee doing the Meg the Stallion. Oh man. The Savage Dance. Oh, I was like, you know what? This is about to be funny. And Q's like, oh my God, I don't know. And then it just like all of a sudden comes to her. I'm like, oh, okay. I like that duo. They beasted the challenge. Meg, I don't know how she's so good at charades. People stood out. And
I'm telling you, it's Jake's acting skills. He is so good at, telling you what things are with his hands.
I know, with the boat, with the Titanic boat though. I'm like, wow. Wow.
I will say that I feel like it was Dee and Q's challenge to lose, and that Dee didn't say ain't, but she gave away the answer, and it kind of screwed him in the end.
I know.
How
Like,
fast did they get Hulk?
Yeah, they got Hulk in less than a second.
Hulk, done. Done.
I wrote it
Hulk.
down that I'm casting the tiebreaker vote. Jake did get the "There Ain't No Sunshine" or whatever it was.
He did
yeah.
because of the ain't.
Yeah.
Well-
I mean, you got to say the full name. You got to. Ain't no sunshine when it's gone,
Dee knew it too. She didn't complain.
He knew
was
it.
like,
She just,
I
yeah.
can't believe I didn't say ain't.
Well, let's talk a little about Jake and Meg's conversation after the challenge and them getting the MVP while Jake getting the MVP. Any thoughts on that conversation, Pancake?
They're good together. I wrote it down as them being the power couple. If they stay loyal to one another, y'all better watch out.
It's just a big if with Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
Russell 2.0.
Yeah.
I think they're giving each other a lot of information to one another right now, and
Yeah.
just-
They trust each other
it's-
a lot.
real quickly too.
Too quick.
So that could be good, but back to Jake the Snake, you don't know what he's going to do with that information. So I think it's going to take another episode or two to see what comes of that. But it could be good, and I hope it doesn't backfire on Meg. But knowing Survivor, that probably be the case.
But let's be real. In some way, their message that they co-sent in a way, even though it was, one MVP, technically that was a co-message. And in a lot of ways, that's glue that binds them together because it implicates them both. So it's not like one of them can throw the other under the bus easily without throwing themselves under the bus to some degree. And so I think that co-message they sent in a lot of ways was glue that actually does bind them together and with Dot in a lot of ways.
And like it's almost a forced final two or final three, whether you want it to be or not. Just let's see who makes the first move when it gets down to the end.
Well, Meg was cool with Jake. She said, let's do ride or die, final two.
Yeah.
And they both wanted to send that to Dot. So, I mean, that makes sense. And really, when you put yourself out there on a limb like that this early, especially with someone from another team that you don't know at all, you pretty much have to stick to that, or else it bites every one of you in the butt.
Yeah.
You know, I think Aspen and Fan Guide in season 1 for y'all, like, I think y'all would agree with this. You have to put all your trust into one person and just ride with them, whether you think they're gonna, backstab you or not. So, I mean, I think it's an early good play between both of them. I can see the writing on the wall. Something's not going to work out between it.
Yeah, I don't know. With me and Fan Guy, it was different because we were on the same team.
Yeah, and she had Rochelle. I didn't really have a number one in that game. But I see what you're saying there, and I think it helps. But I think it's like I would say exactly what you said, but I would reword it and say you have to know who you can trust, or at least have a pretty good idea of who you can trust versus who you can't. Because whether they're like your number one or whatever, a lot of people don't have number ones in these games. Like just because if you're stuck in a bunch of pairs, you obviously don't have anyone to pair off with. But it's figuring out which pair I can trust if I'm going to, in certain situations. So I think a lot of it comes down to that. But yeah, I think a lot of these people seem to have very good radars for that. So I'm anxious to see how this shakes out because they all seem to be onto each other's like schemes a little bit. And so that's some gunpowder, and it'll explode eventually.
Oh yeah.
You all agree that Dot was the person to send a message to?
Yeah, kind of. But for their game, I feel like. I mean, I don't know of anybody else. I mean,
I think he was the only option because you couldn't go with like Q or DD. I think you needed to pick somebody from the first losing team to try to draw them in to you, if that makes sense. Like they're wounded, pick them up, build them up, say, hey, you can work with me. Let's gang up against these other two competitors.
is you acting like it's a wounded dog or something?
What?
I didn't think about that. That's a really good point about based on which team lost. Because I was thinking,
Yeah.
I was thinking DD and Q were the other two options, and maybe Elizabeth, like would be the three options. But because you want to obviously work with someone who's strong, so you got to pick somebody who's strong in the competition. So by that it limits it to really just two or three of those. And then the losing team from a strategic standpoint does make more sense. I don't know if they factored that in, but that's legit. And Dot just gave off a good energy. Like even with all the Nisha stuff going on, like Dot was just having a good time. Nisha struck my power and made my power go out a minute ago. So I'm sorry, Nisha. We're cool. But yeah, he kept a good attitude about it. A lot of people wouldn't. And so he just, I think it was a logical choice for them to reach out to him. Because he just had a good energy like that, and he was a good competitor.
We'll stick with Dot. We talk about the last part of the episode and Dot wanting to get Nisha out over Christopher, who is not there. You guys touched upon this somewhat, but any other thoughts on him wanting Nisha out, Days?
Mike 2.0. Want to keep in the players that are non-existent in the game. I mean, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous move to start talking about, hey, let's get them out instead, when there's an easy person to vote out that hasn't even shown up. I don't know if it's a move that I would make. It is very early in the game. No need to rock the boat at this point. Give it another challenge or two. I mean, because Dot is not in any danger of being voted out. I wouldn't think he's that likable that you want to keep him around. So was it a smart move? I don't think so. It could come back to bite him in the rear end.
I forgot to mention, he also got a steal a vote. Do you think he'll be able to use that wisely?
That doesn't. I don't like the steal of vote power.
Dude, that's make or break though. Like if
That's a huge power.
Yeah, if he could use it right, for sure. But that's always the problem. Nobody never uses those things right. So
you got to play optimally.
I know, and I kind of don't like his odds, honestly, to be honest, with him using it correctly, because he just, well, you seen what happened. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I trust him to use it correctly.
I mean, you saw how the vote went. That was a mess of a vote. Like, how do you even use a steal a vote in a situation like that? You have to know the party lines with the steal a vote
Call,
to be able to use it correctly. And that whole thing was a mess. So if every vote goes like that, having to steal a vote won't make a damn bit of difference.
call this one a hunch, but like, first of all, Dodd isn't going to be in any danger, in my opinion, until after his particular. He'll be the last member of that group. If they go on to lose the next 4 challenges, he'll be the last person standing out of that group. So I think Dot's a pretty safe bet to get to the merge. I don't know how long that power lasts, but if it lasts into the merge and on, it is a huge power to have. But he's not going to need it for a while.
I wonder how many times they are going to change teams. Like, is it going to be just one merge, or is it going to be multiple team changes? Or like,
give us the heads up, Nick. What's going to happen?
We'll have to find out, won't we?
I don't think this is going to bite Dot in the butt, though. I think it was a ballsy move. It was a super dangerous move, but
but
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
hey.
I don't even think it's going to get noticed, to be honest. As weird as
Alex-
I would notice
Alex
it, you
noticed
guys
it.
would probably notice it. I don't even think it's going to get noticed.
Alex, was you talking about the switch vote, or?
I'm talking about the Nisha vote, because I have a feeling like if it even gets brought up, he's just going to be like, oh, it was a random vote or whatever, because somebody wasn't there and it was a random vote.
Alex isn't going to bring it up, but he knows.
Of course he knows. Yeah, they're on to it. I just don't think it's going to bite Dot in the butt with regards to Nisha, because I don't think Nisha's going to be around long enough for that like vendetta to form or anything like that.
she ain't gonna try to get no revenge.
Right. I don't think it's going to bite Dot in the butt in the sense of revenge.
I mean, it depends on who he teams up with in his tribe. I mean, you got Elizabeth, Nisha, Ori, Dot, and Alex. Who does he team up with in those 5?
And a few of them openly went against him because he said who he wanted out, and they voted not with him. Like, let's be real. Two people. He said, "I want to get Nisha
Alex
out."
couldn't vote, so.
Oh, okay. I mean, Ori didn't vote with him either. And he told her that's who he
I
wanted.
I want to see Alex make an early move and tell Elizabeth, and see if he can work some magic with that. Kind of.
As far as the strategy in general, though, I liked it. I actually think, like, Alex knows it too. Dot said it. They spelled it out. It's not illogical. They're like, this person is more of a detriment to the team than not having someone. So on a purely ruthless, strategic base level, I get it. It is the most strategic move they could have made, would have been, based on what we've seen now, would be to get rid of her. She might turn out to be a freaking chess savant, and that might be the next 6 challenges. We don't know.
Oh, you missed that part, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I just think it was a ploy.
I called Nisha out as being a great actor, and everything she's doing is fake. She's got the hood pulled over her head. Most likely wrong, but
it could be. You don't know, but based on what we've seen, yeah, I don't hate the strategy. I just think it's too early to do that. It's a really bold, ballsy strategy, and it's not a smart one, but it is the smartest if you can get away with it and pull it off.
I also don't think that we saw the entire conversation. He could have just been putting feelers out there, and Nick decided to edit it in a way. I mean, dude, your whole Nisha possibly getting eliminated, you had me sold.
Well, yeah, that was kind of.
She's going. So I don't know what to think anymore on that.
Yeah.
Great editing, by the way.
It was good editing because I thought it could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, perfect.
I thought it could have gone either way.
Well, before we wind down and try and make a few predictions, I just want to know if you guys have any more thoughts on the episode that we didn't cover.
Just good casting, man. I'll just say good casting for the most part. There are some personable personalities out of this group. The ones that like stay. I mean, even like really Carrie with the K. Her intro of it. I mean, I'm telling you that line about where she just I'm smart and I'm a ditz and the way. That's comedic gold. Like you could
No. Her
10
favorite
seconds.
line is her being like, "Oh my God, she thinks I'm some dumb hit and I'm not." I'm like, you tell her, girl.
Yeah, I mean, just great characters. Couple of really good competitors, and so I think it should shake out to be a really entertaining, cool season.
There's some definite gamers in this season for sure. But I'm excited for this season.
This is like Survivor if it was quarantine, you know. So like,
Yeah.
And the video element compared to our season, it really does add.
Oh my God, that yeah.
Layers.
Nobody's. We're in what, a third season here, and I've yet to hear anybody mention watching our season.
I know.
There's a
Nobody's
couple
seen
people.
it.
Except for someone who said they didn't.
Except for Dee Dee. Dee Dee has watched all of them, I think.
Dee and Q and Kelsey in isolation. Well,
So, yeah,
I want to make a
awesome.
few predictions on who you guys think is going to win the next challenge. It's a challenge you guys sort of played in season 1. This is a little different, though. There's a different aspect to it. It is the old Google Maps game, and I'm going to tell you who is on each team for this next challenge.
I didn't get to play
I
that
like
one,
this game.
actually.
I like this game.
That was before I came into the game.
Yeah, but I think it was part of the final challenge.
It was part of the final. He gave us pictures of different locations and you had to pick what country it was in.
Okay, I don't remember half of the final, so.
You remember answering the Matrix?
Nope. I checked out at the end of that game.
Oh, man. Okay, so on Team Rona, this next game, it will be the 2 carries and Patty on a team. On the Cleaners, it will be Rayleigh, Hassan, and Sammy on a team. And for Dunn, it will be Alex, Ori, and Dot.
That they win. Dunn wins this challenge, hands down.
So let me get this correct. The challenge is where you like show the picture and then you gotta pick what the
Yes,
play.
except in this season they will be going head to head, so they get multiple choice this time, and they have to hold up their answers at the same time. So
Yeah, a lot more pressure. Because we had to send ours in like. How did that? I don't even
it was on
remember
the
how that
message
worked.
part. I think you had to type
Yeah.
it in or something.
Wait, Days, who you think gonna win?
Done.
Done. They got. You said what? It would be Dot, Ori, and Alex.
Alex, yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I kind of agree with that.
Rona was Carrie, and Patty, and then the Cleaners was Sammy, Rayleigh, and Hassan.
And
So,
do
yeah,
they play as a team or do they play as individuals?
They play one at a time, so
they have to rotate. They have
Yes.
one person can't carry the team.
correct.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because if
So
one
only
person can
one-
carry the team, I actually think the carries and Patty could do okay if they let the shy carry who
The smart one.
who scripts her audition tape handle that because I bet she knows some stuff.
OG edited.
She knows some
Two
stuff.
tribes
Did all her stuff before she sent it to Nick.
She's
Two
ready,
tribes.
bro. I love it.
will win, right?
Well, I just want to know who gets first place. Who you guys think gets first place?
I agree with kind of the team done. I know this might sound bad, but I don't know. And this could be like I could be totally off, but this is just me thinking that the Cleaners, all of them are kind of from the South, and they probably just stay in the South. And so I know that sounds dumb, but like I don't expect them to win. I don't think Patty is gonna show up. I don't know about y'all, but I'm kind of thinking he might be kind of flaky. So I don't know what that'll do to their chance. So I'm gonna go with Team Dunn. Yeah.
I think Patty shows. I do. I think he shows. But I think the interesting thing to point out about this challenge is, and it's just based on first impressions. Like I could be way wrong when I say this. This is just based on what we've seen so far. That I think all of the strongest competitors from each team, other than Dot, are sitting out of this challenge. You got Hugh and Dee Dee sitting out from their team. You got Meg and Jake sitting out from their team, and those show themselves to be very strong competitors. Now we
Yeah.
don't know what we're gonna get from the rest of them, but I mean, all we can go on is kind of what vibe they give us in terms of, you know, just the intensity that they're in it to win it. And the person who strikes me the most like that is the famous guy. Is it Alex? The
Yeah.
new guy, Alex? Yeah, it's Alex. He strikes me as the next person that just seems like they're in it to win it. And he's going to have Dot on his team. So I think those two together are, and Ori seems smart and she's military, which means she's probably versed with worldly things. So I hate to be predictable and go with my two cohorts here, but I think Team Dunn is
I have a question. Any chance Dot throws it just to try and get Nisha out?
Hell no.
He has shown the propensity to make extremely bold moves already.
I'm
But
going to say that doesn't even matter because the whole preview for next season, I'm pretty sure that those up for elimination are going to come from Rona. Just by the way, the preview Hugh talking about, is this a ploy to, you know, like snow over me and Dee Dee? So I think somebody out of that team is going to be up for elimination, and there's going to be some fuckery going on with that team.
That's interesting.
But who knows? Who knows? Maybe Rayleigh pulls the win out on this. I mean, she's all about the bigger picture. I mean, that's like the world view, right? So she should know what's going on.
I think Dunn should win it based on what we know, but I couldn't tell you how the other two teams are going to stack up, honestly. I think Dunn is in the best position to win this.
Well, that's all the questions I have, unless you guys have any last points you want to make.
I just want to say you all seem like fabulous people. So
Yeah. All y'all are cool.
I'm going to echo Jay's sentiment. If we ever happen to run into each other virtually or on the street, I'm a good dude.
I mean, I will try and get guests for this eventually, so I'm not going to them.
Yeah, you all seem like some fantastic people. So, you know, I can say for sure, having done some stuff like this before, it's easy to take negative criticism to heart. If you hear some people say some unkind things about you, even watching your season back, just don't take it personally. Like, it's a game, and these people don't know you. So we don't know you. We just know what we've been presented, small clips of you. So, you know, just keep on keeping on. Be
And
yourself.
I just want to say, if you're ever a villain on one of these shows, embrace it, because who doesn't want to be the villain, I say.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey,
Take it.
I'm
Or that-
working on getting my top competitor rivals teammate here. So I'm only poking at those I think are strong competitors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you all for doing this. I thought it was a fun first podcast for this.
Yeah.
Your guys' best friend, Mike, might be joining us in the future.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Swell.
Possibly Adam from Online Isolation as well. So
That'd be cool.
I liked him.
he's very strategic. So
He's like a cool cat.
Oh, you should get Adam and Elizabeth on as guests together.
asked Elizabeth, but well, that's all I have for you all tonight. Thank you
All
all
right, man.
for joining me. Let me stop recording.